Hi, this is Mitch Doan, and along with Jamie Richardson, we're your hosts of the Break-Thru Active podcast. We aim to deep dive into health and fitness that will help bring you a better understanding of topics that are of interest to you and can help you on your own journey. If you are enjoying the episodes, we'd love for you to leave us a rating on the platform you listen to your podcasts. Enough from me, sit back, relax, and enjoy the episode. Hello and welcome back to the Break-Thru Active podcast. My name is Mitch. I am your host. There is a bit going on at the moment. We are a couple of days shy of the end of financial year. I know this is a very busy time for a lot of people, especially those who work in finance or perhaps they're in admin or in accounts. Just a lot happening as the end of financial year wraps up. For me personally, in our business, I did some accounting courses back at uni in the day. So I've always been in charge of our bookkeeping and our accounting. So there is a bit on, but it's good because I feel like once we turn this financial year and we get into July, we are on our way to the warmer months, which is always a nice thought for me. On top of that, we did have our second game of State of Origin a few nights ago. I actually picked the Maroons, very disloyal of me, and the Blues ended up winning by 32 points. So I was very happy with that, but a little part of bit of me thought that the Maroons were going to win and take the series, but it wasn't to be. So they are going to go to a game 3. Well, they always would have gone to a game 3, but this time it will be a decider, which will be very exciting here in a few weeks. Okay, to shift gears a little bit here, the topic for today is macros or macronutrients. So you may have heard of this term if you have been on the deep wide web and had a bit of a look in terms of ways to manage your nutrition. If you are looking to lose some weight, or if you are looking to build some muscle, or you are looking to do both, this is a really popular method that some people do use to achieve those results. So I just wanted to give a bit of an explanation on what exactly macros or macronutrients are, and then a little bit more, a little bit more about how we can actually count and track our macros if it is something that we are interested in. For the remainder of the week, there is going to be some more information about this, so I am just going to be doing a little bit more of an explanation here for this episode today, and just really get people's minds around what it is that macronutrients are, especially if you haven't heard of it before. It can just seem like a bit of a strange word that has little to no meaning, so I just wanted to give some context to it here. So first of all, what are macros? So macros is short for the word macronutrients. Now, when you think of macronutrients, there are 3 macronutrients: protein, carbohydrates, and then fats. Okay, so the opposite of macronutrients is micronutrients. So when you think of micronutrients, you're looking at more of the vitamins and minerals that do make up our nutrients. But when we're considering and when we're looking at macronutrients, it is the 3: fats, carbohydrates, and then protein. So like I mentioned there earlier, this is a really popular method for people to use if they are wanting to take control of their nutrition, if they are wanting to perhaps shift a little bit of body fat, or perhaps they are wanting to tone up, or if in some guys' cases they're looking to bulk up. Counting their macros is a way that people can manage this, and in more recent years, I'd probably say more 10 to 15 years, it has been increasingly popular, especially a little more so in the gym community, in the bodybuilding community, where people count their macros, and this is an approach to nutrition the same way that a keto approach or an intermittent fasting approach is sometimes taken for people. So in years gone by, back in the Weight Watchers days and a few of the other methods that were popular back in the 80s, 90s and early 2000s was more around calorie counting. So it is similar when you count your macros, but also very different. So when you're doing calorie counting, it is exactly how it sounds, where you are literally just counting however many calories that you are supposed to be eating each day. So for argument's sake, let's say that is 2,000. You're counting all your calories and you're trying to aim to be at 2,000 or potentially a little bit underneath that. When we are looking at counting our macros, it is also in line with our calories and our caloric daily intake, but it takes into consideration the amount of fat and the amount of protein and the amount of carbohydrates we eat. Hey guys, just very quickly, if you have been enjoying our podcast and you've been watching us on YouTube, I would love for you to subscribe to our channel. If you've been listening to our podcast, give us a follow, give us a 5-star rating on Apple or Spotify or wherever it is that you've been listening to us. It really helps the channel grow, and I would be extremely appreciative and grateful if you took a moment to do that for me. Okay, that's it from me. Enjoy the rest of the show. So when we are calorie counting, realistically, we could do nothing but eat lollies all day and eat 2,000 calories of lollies. Obviously, it is far from healthy, and I think everyone knows that. But in essence, if you are under 2,000 calories and you're eating nothing but lollies, you are in line with your calorie count, and unfortunately, that is a successful day for you. And that's where over time, the more science that has been backed by this, the more research that's been done, and the more information that's been out there, it's shown that there is a lot more to it than just the amount of calories. We need to be eating a certain amount of protein combined with fats and carbohydrates, and also delves a little bit into the type of carbohydrates and the type of fats. But the most important one there is the protein, because if you are looking to lose body fat and or you are looking to build some lean muscle, then the amount of protein that you eat each day is going to be really important. And it also has a host of other really positive and healthy benefits when you are eating a good amount of protein. So when you are counting your macronutrients, let's say we're using the same example, you're aiming to eat 2,000 calories, but then there is also a breakdown of how many of those calories you're wanting to be protein, how many of those calories you're wanting to be carbohydrates, and how many of those calories you're wanting to be fat. So let's just say, for instance, it was a third, which means it's 666 calories of protein, 666 calories of carbs, and then 666 calories of fat. So there is a quick equation you can do, which I'm not going to go into today, but it's going to roughly mean that you're eating about 160 grams of protein, 160 grams of carbs, and probably around 70 or 80 grams of fat. So that would be your macros for the day. And then you are tracking your food using something like MyFitnessPal or a similar app, and you're able to actually determine how many grams of protein, how many grams of fat, how many grams of carbohydrates you're eating each day, and you're trying to align it with your daily goals, which are all in balance with how many calories you're trying to eat. So a little bit of a shift on the original calorie counting plan or the calorie counting approach that people would have done in years gone by, because there is a little bit more to it, but also a lot healthier, because it's not just calories in general. We are looking at how much protein, fats, and carbohydrates we are eating, and manipulating those numbers depending on what we've been advised to do, or what we feel like is healthy, or what we feel like is going to be important for the goals we're looking to achieve. So that 2,000 calorie example, and the 1/3 of each is just an example. Just like I mentioned, it's not something that is what we should be doing, but just wanted to do a little bit of a breakdown and explain how that would be used for people if they were after that goal. So perhaps, if you have tried calorie counting before, perhaps you have been a part of Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig, or done something similar to that. I do remember there being old booklets with Weight Watchers and Michelle Bridges and things, which were just pages and pages and pages, and a whole book of just foods and calories, and no mention of how much protein, fats, or carbs are in each. So a lot has changed since then, and for the better, because like I've mentioned a few times here, it does consider how much protein, carbs and fats are in each meal, which is really important when we're looking at the quality of food that we're eating. So to go back to my previous example of eating lollies, 2,000 calories of lollies compared to 2,000 calories of a combination of meats and vegetables and carbohydrates and fruits and starch and all other good things which combine together to give you that 2,000 calories. Because as much as we are looking at the macronutrients, like I mentioned earlier, the micronutrients is at the other end of the spectrum, but it is still really important. And when you are eating good quality food, you're getting good micronutrients as well. So I am going to leave it there for today. I know I've just opened up the can a little bit and there is plenty more to discuss. And if you have listened to this, you might have some more questions, but I encourage you to listen to these podcasts the next few days. There's going to be some extra information being sent out as well for people who are wanting it. And it really is going to do more of a deep dive into macros versus micros and how we can start to implement a strategy following and tracking our macros if we're looking to do it, as well as some of the benefits and then the challenges that are accompanied when we are following a plan where we are tracking our macros every day. So thanks for listening, guys. Enjoy the day, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If there is a topic you'd like us to discuss that we haven't already, please make sure you reach out in Facebook Messenger and we'll do our best to cover it in the upcoming episodes. For those of you enjoying the podcast, we'd love for you to like, subscribe and leave us a rating. It really helps us grow and spread the good word. Hoping you're all having a great day, and we'll be sure to see you on the next one.